Magandang araw. Ako, si Reymar Supnet, Math Teacher ng Caanamongan National High School at welcome sa ating video lesson. So, tayo ay nasa third week na ng ating third quarter. So, ang pag-aaralan natin ay tungkol sa angles formed by parallel lines cut by transversal. Pero bago yun, mag-review muna tayo ng ating napag-aralan noong nakaraang linggo. So, kung marirecall ninyo, ang na-receive ninyong module ay tungkol sa relationship among pairs of angles. At yung mga yon ay ang mga adjacent angles, supplementary angles, complementary angles, vertical angles, at linear pair. So, ang ating lesson objective, define and illustrate the angles formed by parallel lines cut by a transversal. So, after ng video lesson na to, so dapat ay kaya nyo nang i-define at i-illustrate ang mga angles formed na nakat ng transversal. So sa ating previous lessons in geometry, so alam niyo na kung paano ang real life representations ng points, lines, and planes, yung mga undefined terms in geometry. So now, I will be showing you objects. Before we start our lesson, I'll be showing you objects and then try to identify kung meron kayong makikitang straight lines dito sa mga objects na to. Are you ready? So let us begin. So our first object is this is a flag. So can you identify kung kaninong flag ang given flag na to? Okay, so this is flag of Myanmar. So syempre sa araling panlipunan, ginagamit ang flag bilang isang representation ng isang country. So nagtataka siguro bakit hindi ko ginamit ang flag ng Pilipinas. Because we are already familiar with our national flag. Sino nga bang hindi nakakaalam sa ating national flag? So our next item is this one. So we have, this is a tape measure. Siyempre, ang tape measure is used in sa TLE when you are measuring. Sa tailoring, ganun. But also we use it in mathematics during our subject topic about measurement. So meron bang line na makikita sa tape measure? Next, our next item is this one, the measuring cup. Ang measuring cup, syempre ginagamit ulit sa TLE when you are measuring yung mga ingredients. Ganon din sa science when you are in science laboratory. But unfortunately, wala muna tayong science laboratory ngayon because of the pandemic. Meron ba tayong makikitang linya sa measuring cups? Next item is the volleyball. Yes, this is a volleyball. So, na-miss nyo na bang maglaro ng volleyball sa school? So, even also, as math teacher, nakamiss din yun. But this time, pwede naman kayo maglaro sa bahay to keep yourself physically fit, especially these times of pandemic. So sa volleyball na to, meron ba kayong makikitang lines or straight lines? So our next item is this. What is this? So this is a box. Specifically, this is a box of a face mask and the other one is a face shield. So when we go out of our home, siguraduhin na meron tayong suot na face mask and face shield for our protection. So, dito sa box na to, meron ka bang nakikitang linya? O ilang linya ang nakikita mo dito kung meron man? So, meron kayang parallel lines dyan. So, syempre, sa parallel lines, napag-aralan na natin siya sa previous topic, pero balikan natin. What is the definition of parallel lines? So, parallel lines are always the same distance apart, called equidistance, and will never meet. So say for example, I have one line and I have another line. So tong linya na to, they are equidistant apart. So parehas yung distance nila from each other. At kahit na no matter how far na mag-extend ang dalawang linya na to, ay hindi sila magsasalubong. So real life let us think of a real-life application of parallel lines. So siguro, you imagine yourself as the first line and the COVID-19 virus as the second line. So syempre, ayaw natin na magkasalubong kayong dalawa. So dapat you should be parallel. So the COVID-19 virus and yourself should be parallel para hindi kayo mag-meet kahit na no matter how far you extend. So those are parallel lines kung nare-recall ninyo. And now, let us define what is a transversal. So as you can see in the background, I have two lines, two parallel lines, and another line that intersects the two lines, the parallel lines, so nag-intersect siya. So what is a transversal? So it is a line that intersects two or more lines. But in my example here, meron lang tayong dalawang linya at meron tayong isang linya na nag-intersect sa dalawa. So, saan dyan ang parallel lines? So, ang parallel lines dyan ay ang lines R and line S. So, parallel silang dalawa. And, nasaan ang transversal? So, our transversal, yung line na nagko-connect sa kanilang dalawa is line Q. So, tama. So, that is line Q. So, ganun ang definition ng ating transversal. Basta dalawang parallel lines at merong nag-intersect na line sa kanilang dalawa, that is a transversal. So, when we see that when two parallel lines is cut by a transversal, so meron kang dalawang parallel lines na nag-cut ng transversal, iba't ibang angles ang mag-form. So, there are different angles formed. As you can see, in our illustration, na nakita naman dito sa illustration sa likod, is that may mga angles na na-form. And what are those angles that was formed by the two parallel lines cut by the transversal? So, meron tayong interior angle, exterior angles, interior angles, alternate interior angles, and corresponding angles. So, ano nga ba yung mga yon? So, bago sa pandinig natin. So, let us try to define all of them one by one para mas maintindihan natin. Alright. So, concentrate on the illustration given. So, meron tayong drawing dyan. So, we have two parallel lines. We have line A and B are parallel lines. And we have a transversal, yung line P. So, may nakalagay na din dyan na illustration na nakalagay yung interior at nakalagay din yung exterior para mas madali nating maintindihan. So, syempre, pag sinabing interior, nasa loob. And exterior kapag nasa labas. So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga angles na nasa loob? Since we are defining interior angles. So, what is an interior angle? So, interior angles are four angles formed inside the two parallel lines. So, meron tayong, in this illustration, meron tayong apat na angles na na-form. So, those angles are angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 6. So, yung mga yun ay mga interior angles. So, dapat nating tandaan na kapag ang interior angle ay nasa same side, parehas sila ng side, they are supplementary. O, supplementary. Natatandaan nyo pa ba ano ang supplementary angles? So, when we say supplementary angles, the sum of their angles are equal to 180 degrees. So, tandaan natin, pag sinabing supplementary, equal siya sa 180 degrees. So, interior angles. So, the next angle natin is the exterior angle. So, kabaliktaran naman. As you can see, in our illustration, if we have interior sa loob, syempre meron din sa labas. And we call those angles as exterior angle. So, ang exterior, syempre, kung titignan natin dito sa illustration, sa bandang taas na nasa labas ay angles 1 and 2. And yung nasa baba naman, makikita ay angle 7 and angle 8. So, mas madali maintindihan kasi may nakalagay na interior at exterior. Basta tandaan nyo lang, interior sa loob, exterior sa labas. So how many exterior angles do we have here? So we have 4 exterior angles. So what are they? So they are angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8. So tandaan din natin na kapag ang mga exterior angle ay nasa same side, so same side, ibig sabihin isa yung side nila, like for example, angle 1 and angle 7, so they are supplementary. So gaya kanina, pag sinabi natin supplementary, these are two angles that when we add them, their sum will be equal to 180 degrees. The next is alternate interior angles. So what are alternate interior angles? So alternate interior angles are two interior angles that lie on the opposite sides of the transversal. So kanina na-identify natin. Ano nga ba ang mga angles na nasa interior o nasa loob? So we have 3, 4, 5, and 6 as you can see. Pero ang sabi dito is alternate interior. So sinabing alternate interior, it is opposite. Ibig sabihin magka-baliktad, opposite. So kung titignan natin, ano nga ba ang kabaliktad na angle ng angle 3? Kasi angle 3 is an interior angle. So angle 6. So angle 3 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles. And so syempre, if you will get angle 4, ang alternate interior angle ng angle 4 ay angle 5. So let us see, alternate interior angles are congruent. So pag sinabing congruent, ang measurement ng mga interior angles daw or alternate interior angles ay congruent o parehas ang sukat. So say for example, kung ang sukat ng angle 3 natin sa measurement ay 110 degrees, so syempre, ang angle 6 natin ay equal din siya sa 110 degrees. Since alternate interior angles are congruent. So parehas. Tandaan natin yan. So, kung meron tayong alternate interior, syempre meron din tayong alternate exterior angles. So what are alternate exterior angles? So alternate exterior angles are two exterior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. So, syempre, parang kanina kung meron tayong interior, meron tayong exterior. So, alternate. So, parang kanina lang din sa interior. So, pag sinabi natin na alternate exterior, yung magka-opposite na nasa labas naman. So, ang example natin dito, if we have angle 1, ang ka-alternate exterior niya na nasa labas sa kabila ay angle 8. So, yes, angle 8. So, angle 1 and angle 8 are alternate exterior angles. So another exterior angle that we can see in the given illustration is angle 2. So ang ka-alternate interior angle ng angle 2 ay angle 7. So siyempre, measurement of angle 2 is also equal to angle 7 since alternate exterior angles are congruent. So next angle form is the corresponding angles. Ano nga ba ang corresponding angles? So these are angles on the same side of transversal wherein one angle is interior and the other is exterior. Oh, parang nakakagulo. So tandaan natin, same side, yung keyword natin para mas mabilis nating matandaan. Sabi niya, same side. So sa isang side, concentrate tayo sa isang side sa illustration, and also yung isa ay nasa loob. So, tingin tayo ng isang nasa loob at yung isa daw ay nasa labas. Tingin nga kayo ng ganon. So, same side, parehas ng side. Tapos, yung isa nasa loob, yung isa ay nasa labas. Okay, magsasabi ako ng isa, hanap kayo ng partner. So, angle 3. So, anong partner ng angle 3? So, angle 7. Yes, angle 7. So, angle 3 and angle 7 are corresponding angles. So, same side, yung isa nasa loob, interior, and the other one is in the exterior or nasa labas. So, if we have angle 2, so ang ka-alternate corresponding angle niya rather ay ang angle 2 is angle 6. Ang angle 5 naman is angle 1. So, nakikita naman dito sa taas. So, tsaga lang. Medyo nakakalito lang talaga minsan, but siyempre, practice makes perfect. So, take a look at our diagram or our figure. So, since this is a video lesson, pwede nyo naman siyang i-pause. Okay? So, tanda natin, ang kanilang alternate exterior angles are congruent. So, kapag ang measurement ng angle 1 natin ay, say for example, 40 degrees, ang ka-alternate, ang corresponding angle niya ay angle 5. So, siyempre, kung 90 or kung 75 degrees ang angle 1, ang angle 5 naman ay 75 degrees din. Since alternate exterior angles are congruent. So, tandaan natin yon. Huwag natin kalimutan. Alright. So, yun yung mga angles nagpo-form na angle when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Ano-ano na ulit yung mga yon? So, yung mga nasa loob, we call them as interior angles. Yung mga nasa labas, they are exterior angles. Yung opposite naman na nasa loob, we call them as alternate interior angles. Kapag opposite naman na nasa labas, we call them as, syempre, nasa labas at opposite, they are alternate exterior angles. At kung yung isa naman ay nasa same side sila, at kung yung isa ay nasa loob at yung isa ay nasa labas, they are considered, pangalan nila, they are corresponding angles. So this time, let us go with an activity. So activity na tayo. Let us try to apply kung talagang natutuhan ninyo yung mga sinabi ko kanina. So, this is the activity. So, consider the figure na nandito. So, we have lines A and B. They are parallel. And line P is considered as the transversal, as you can see. So, magsasabi ako ng pair to identify kung ano ang kanilang relationship. So, angle 1 and angle 4. Oh, wala dun sa nasabi ko kanina because it is in our previous lesson. Angle 1 and angle 4, kung titignan natin, magkatalikod sila. So, they are vertical angles. How about angle 6 and angle 7? Sa baba, nakikita nyo. So, they are, yes, again, they are vertical angles. So, ano kayong mga sasabi nyo sa measurement ng vertical angles? Kaya nang napag-aralan natin dati. So, ang measurement ng vertical angles, kapag magkatalikod sila, they are congruent or parehas sila ng measurement. So, they are with the same measurement. Tandaan yun, vertical angle. So, we will be needing your knowledge to identify kung congruent ba or supplementary for our next lesson kasi we will be having computations. Next, so how about angle 1 and angle 5? So consider angle 1 and angle 5. So yung isa nasa exterior, yung isa nasa interior, angle 5. So pag ganon, and they are on the same side, ang tawag doon ay what? Oh yes, they are corresponding angles. How about angle 4 and angle 5? So, yung angle 4 at angle 5 ay parehas na nasa loob at nasa opposite direction. So, they are alternate interior angles. How about 7 and 8? Oh, tignan natin. 7 and 8. So, nasa baba. So, parehas silang nasa exterior but they are on the same side. Ano kaya yan? So, going back to our previous topic, they are considered as linear pair. So, they are adjacent kasi adjacent and supplementary. So, adjacent magkatabi at kapag pinag-add natin yung measurement ng angle 7 and angle 8, they are equal to 180 degrees. So ulitin natin, ang angles 7 and 8, they are linear pair. So linear pair. So last, we have, how about angle 2 and angle 7? So tignan natin. So angle 2 and angle 7 naman is, they are, yes, nasa labas and opposite. So they are alternate exterior angles. So yan, ang galing. So ito, siguro okay na sa atin lahat at naintindihan natin. If hindi pa rin, siyempre, because this is a video lesson, you can go back and check kung saan tayo banda nalilito. So madali lang naman intindihin. All you need to do is just focus on what you are doing. So madali lang intindihin. So let us proceed with the next activity. So alright, so for our next activity, so we have this figure. So lines A and B are cut by transversal T, as you can see in our figure. So kung ang measurement daw ng angle 4 is equal to 2x plus 5 and measurement of angle 8 is equal to x plus 75, what is the value of x? O ayan, may medyo kumunot na yung noo. When it comes to computations, pag nakakita tayo ng numbers, minsan hindi na natin alam. So let us try to be organized in all of the things. Huwag niyong i-shortcut. So isa-isayin natin. So I will show you how to solve for the value of x and also to solve for the other measurements of yung mga natirang mga angles naman. So tignan natin yung angle 4 and angle 8. So mag-concentrate muna tayo doon. So sila ay, ano ba yung relationship nilang dalawa? So they are same side. The other one is in the interior and the other one is on the exterior. So they are corresponding. O balikan natin yung knowledge ninyo kanina. So ang sabi natin, anong masasabi natin sa measurement ng corresponding? So they are what? So they are equal. So pag sinabing equal, siyempre parehas sila ng, they are congruent, parehas sila ng sukat. So i-equate natin silang dalawa. So the measurement of angle 4 is equal to measurement of angle 8. Then, we substitute. Ano nga ba yung value ng measurement ng angle 4? So, ang measurement ng angle 4 is 2x plus 5. So, substitute din natin si measurement ng angle 8. So, ang measurement ng angle 8 is x plus 75. So, we already have an equation. Paano ba isolve yung value ng x dito? So let us proceed. So, tanggalin muna natin yung x. So, paano na tatanggalin yung x? So, we add on both sides, mag-add tayo ng negative x. So, para pantay pa rin yung equation. That is the addition property of equality. So, ibig sabihin nun, kung nagdagdag ka sa kabilang side, para pantay pa rin, kailangan pa rin natin magdagdag sa kabilang side. Para pantay, kung nagdagdag ka ng isa, magdagdag ka din ng isa. Parang sa inyo, sa pamilya, halimbawa, dalawa kayong magkapatid. Pag binigyan yung kapatid mo ng 10 pesos para pantay, ikaw, kailangan bigyan din ng 10 pesos. So, ganun yung addition property of equality. So, kapag nagdagdag sa kabila, kailangan magdagdag pa rin sa kabila para pantay pa rin ang ating equation. So, ang idadagdag natin ay negative x. So, 2x minus x will be equal to x na lang yung natira plus 5. On the other side, x minus x is already cancelled and 75 yung natira. So, we have x plus 5 is equal to 75. So, tanggalin natin yung side o yung 5 sa other side. So, anong idadagdag natin? Both sides. So, syempre, we will add negative 5 on both sides. So, negative 5 minus 5 is already 0. So, that's cancelled. So, 75 minus 5 is equal to 70. Ayan. So, we already have the value of x. Ayan. May value pala si x. Ang value niya na napatunayan natin, na nasolve natin ay 70 degrees. Yan, palakpakan ng sarili. Ayan. So, since we already solved for the value of x, so tingnan naman natin, let us check kung parehas nga ba talaga yung sukat ng dalawang angles na to. So, let us try to substitute. So, gamitin muna natin yung measurement ni angle 4. So, the measurement of angle 4 is equal to 2x plus 5. So, syempre, alam na natin yung value ng x, kaya yung x, i-substitute natin ang 70. So, measurement ng angle 4 is equal to 2 times 70 plus 5. Ayan. Then, we have 2 times 70 is equal to 140 plus 5. Then, 140 plus 5, basic math, madali lang naman, magdadagdag lang ng 5. So, that is 145 degrees. So, that is the value of measurement of angle 4. So, 145. Tignan natin kung pantay nga ba silang dalawa. Sorry. So, measurement of angle 8 is equal to x plus 75. So, x plus 75, substitute natin yung value ng x, which is 70 plus 75. So, 70 plus 75 is equal to 145. Yay! So, as you can see, the value of the measurement of angle 4 is equal to the value of measurement of angle 8, which is both 145 degrees. So, tama yung nasolve natin since they are both equal. So, parehas. And now, let us try to look or solve. O tingnan natin yung mga measurement naman ng ibang mga angles natin. So, ano nga bang alam natin? So, nasolve na natin yung measurement ng angle 4 and angle 8. So, 145 yon. So, mag-concentrate muna tayo. Tignan natin. Nagsimula tayo sa angle 1. So, anong relationship? Since we know angle 4, ano bang relationship ng 4 and 1? So, they are linear pair. So, ano nga ba ang linear pair ulit? So, pag linear pair, pag pinag-add natin sila, they are equal to 180 degrees. So, 180 minus measurement of angle 4. So, which is 145. Kaya yung natira is 35. Ayan. So, 35 na siya. So, ang susunod is yung measurement ng angle 2. So, angle 4 and angle 2 are vertical angles naman. So, ang vertical angles are congruent. So, kapag sinabing congruent, parehas yung kanilang measurement. So, kung measurement ng angle 4 ay 145, ang measurement ng angle 2 naman ay 145 degrees. How about angle 3? So, syempre, alam na natin yung measurement ng angle 1. So, since we know the measurement of angle 1, syempre, ka-vertical niya yung angle 3. So, parehas sila ng sukat. So, if angle 1 is 35, so angle 3 naman is equal to 35 degrees. So, given na alam na natin yung angle 4, how about angle 5? So, angle 5. Okay. So, angle 3, alam natin yung angle 3 ay 35 degrees. So, yung angle 5, syempre, alternate interior silang dalawa. So, ang alternate interior angles are equal. So, yes, they are equal. So, since they are equal, so masasabi natin na ang measurement din ng angle 5 ay 35 degrees. How about number 6? Siyempre, kung alam natin yung angle 4, which is equal to 145, at alternate interior niya ang angle 6, they are equal. So, ang angle 6 ay 145 degrees. And, syempre, yung measurement ng angle 7, yung measurement ng angle 5 is 35 degrees. They are vertical angles. So, magbaliktad. Pag vertical, parehas ang sukat. So, that is 35 degrees. So, yan. We already completed the measurement, lahat ng values natin. So, sana naintindihan natin mabuti. Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, since this is a video lesson, pwede ninyong balik-balikan ang kung may saan parte kayo nahihirapan, so pwede ninyong balikan. So, medyo madali lang naman, basta magtiyaga lang tayo ng konti. So, palakpakan ulit ang sarili. Ayan, congratulations! Next one, let us proceed with the evaluation. So, syempre, ako, kanina sa activity ay guided, so medyo tinulungan ko kayo kung paano siya i-solve. Ngayon naman, it's your part. So, kayo naman ang sumubok mag-solve. So, tingnan ninyo ito. So, ano bang nakikita nyo dyan? So, colored siya. So, yan ay path. Kung titignan natin sa mga highway, di ba parang may mga square. Even school, so may mga tiles, mga ganun. So, this is the situation. So, a square tile path walk in Marina's garden can create parallel lines between edges of each tile. So, kung nakikita ninyo dyan, mga tiles daw yung mga yan, yung mga square. So, may mga nakikitang mga linya. So, kung nakikita nyo yung linya na dyan. And then, once a piece of stick lies down on the ground, slightly diagonal, it forms a transversal line. So, nakikita ninyo sa mga tiles na yan, merong nakalagay na stick daw. So, may nakalagay na stick doon sa gitna ng tiles. And then, so, syempre, anong gagawin? So, tignan natin yung figure na nandito and then answer the following questions. So, meron tayo, nakikita niyo naman, meron tayong two parallel lines plus a transversal. So, ma-apply na natin yung napag-aralan natin kanina. We have 3 questions. The first question is, list all the angles that are congruent to angle 5. So, take note. Ano nga ba yung mga angles na congruent o parehas ng sukat sa angle 5? Question number 2. What is the relation of angle 1 and angle 6? So, angle 1 and 6. Ano nga bang relation nila? So, madali lang yan. Identify, you don't need to solve. For number 3, if angle 1 and angle 3 they are congruent, how does angle 4 related to angle 3? So, kung si angle 1 daw at angle 3 ay congruent sila, ano ang relationship ng angle 4 to angle 3? So, pag-isipan natin ng konti. So, medyo trick yung question. So, those are our evaluation. So, you write your answers on a sheet of paper and maybe you can pass it to me next week. You can pass during the passing of modules. Yan. Okay, so before we end up our lesson, syempre, let me ask you if you really learned something about this video lesson. So, how can you apply the knowledge that you have learned in parallel lines cut by a transversal in your daily life? So, sir, paano nga ba natin makikita ang importance nito sa ating daily life? So, pag-isipan natin ito na mabuti habang nag-solve tayo. Paano kaya natin i-apply yung knowledge natin sa natutunan natin sa video lesson na to sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay. So next, how to identify the angle formed by parallel lines cut by transversal. Alam mo na ba kung paano sila i-identify? Kung talagang natuto ka, dapat alam mo kung paano sila i-identify. And what are those? What are those? So, they are, yung nasa loob kanina, they are interior angles. Yung mga nasa labas, they are exterior angles. Kapag nasa loob at opposite, they are alternate interior angles. At kapag nasa labas naman at opposite, they are exterior angles. How about same side? Yung isa nasa loob at isa ay nasa labas. Ang tawag sa kanila ay corresponding angles. So, yan yung mga yan. So, I hope that you have learned something from this video lesson. So, gaya ng palagi kong sinasabi, kanina pa lang, since this is a video lesson, you can go back kung which part is difficult, you think difficult, so pwede nyo balik-balikan. And you may also reach me through personal message sa ating group chat or personal message sa akin. So, I can answer your queries. Yan. And up next for our lesson for next week is the basic geometry construction. So there you have our short video lesson in mathematics about the angles formed by parallel lines cut by a transversal. So I hope that somehow you have learned something from this video lesson. So See you next week for our next lesson in geometry. So again, this is Sir Reymar Supnet of Caanamongan National High School saying, walang mahirap sa taong nagsisikap. So take care and be safe always. Yan.